Hello there, welcome back to Beauty Bees. I'm Iris. This is my Project Pan update for the beginning of July. I am doing this project 10 pan style, meaning that I have 10 products that I'm working on at any point, and when I hit my goal on one, I just roll in another one. And I have some really good progress this month to share with you guys, so I'm pretty excited about my first pan. So let's just get straight into that. I hit pan in a blush. This is from Etude, and it is their lovely cookie blusher in the shade Lavender Lemon Macaron. And finally, after months of having this in the project, I actually remember the name in full. So of course, now that I had that down, it was time to hit pan, and I did hit the tiniest little Fleck of Silver pan in there. I'm really happy. I mean, you can see I've used a ton of this, and it's a really pretty shade. It's not going to be universally flattering. Like, that is a light purple. I really enjoyed the effect. I found it to be brightening, and the purple really did come through. This wasn't sort of a color correcting type of violet. This was really showed up as purple on my skin tone. There it is, swatched out. Okay, so I've hit my pan in this. That was my goal. I'm so excited to be moving a blush out of this project because I've been working on the same blush and bronzer products since the beginning. So let's next move to my other empty, and this is from Bath & Body Works. This is the Bubbly Rosé Fine Fragrance Mist. I was blanking on that for some reason. So I rolled it into the project 2 months ago, and it was about half full at that point. I used more than half of what was left at the last update, and now it's gone. I really enjoyed this scent. It is a very bright, tangy take on a bubbly scent. It's really nice. Definitely more spring, summer than fall, winter. Guess what? It's July. Well, it's June as I'm filming this, but it's almost July, so a really bright, summery fragrance was exactly what I wanted. Really enjoyed this. Probably not something I would repurchase. There are other Bath & Body Works scents that I like just as much or more, and I like, trying out new things, testing new scents. This isn't in my top 3 to 5 fragrances from Bath & Body Works, so I wouldn't repurchase, but I did enjoy quite a bit, and I'm so happy to have another fine fragrance mist done. I really do want to work through some of those. Now let's get into the other products that I've been working on. Let's start with the aforementioned blush and bronzers that I've been working on since the beginning. So first up, we have Bare Minerals Gen Nude Blush in Call My Blush. This is a mini. I repressed it, and it was definitely a premature repressing because I repressed this, probably at least 2 months ago, maybe 3, and I still haven't hit pan again. I'm wearing it today, not very much of it, but I'm wearing some. It's a pretty color. I enjoy working on it, but I wish I was seeing more progress. I mean, this is just a deluxe sample. And it's taken me so long. I worked on this last year just with the goal of hitting pan, and I did achieve that. And then this year I'm trying to finish it, but oh my goodness, I don't know how likely that really is to happen. Crazy to me that I can work on a deluxe size blush for 2 years and still not be 100% sure that I'm going to hit my goal. Though maybe it shouldn't be that surprising to me because I've been working on this since forever. I don't know if this was in my 2021 project pan, but I know that it was in my 2022 project pan, and it's in my 2023 project pan, and it's still kicking. Though this is looking so well used at this point. This is from Tarte. It's their Park Avenue Princess bronzer. This is, again, a deluxe size. This is not the full-size bronzer, but I've made such good progress in the past month. The product is very thin, really through this entire side. So even though I probably only used this 7 or 8 times, I have a lot of visual progress. I think that I am probably 2 to 3 months from calling this done. I'm not going to repress this again. No, I'm not going to. So once it gets hard to get out, once the product is really concentrated towards that outer edge, I'll call it done and move it on out. I'm so happy with this. This is the first bronzer that I'd even hit pan on. So it's so exciting to think that I could actually move this out of my collection as an empty in the not too distant future. Okay, what is next? Let's move to this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Last month, I don't think I used this. This month, I used it a few times. Not a lot of progress to show, but at least it's getting a little bit of use. And it actually plays pretty well with the sunscreen that I've been using the last few weeks. So I don't know why I haven't been using this more. I mean, part of it is that it's late June, early July when you're seeing this, so it's so hot, but I don't know, I work in air conditioning, so I could totally wear this during the week. I need to remember that and actually use it. Will I? We shall see. Next we have an item that I'm actually going to be rolling out of the project. This is from e.l.f. and it is the Oil Control Pink Powder Mask. I just don't have oily skin anymore, I'm realizing. My skin was really oily for about 2 weeks when we transitioned from a very cold winter almost straight into a very warm summer. So yeah, my skin had a little bit of a freak out for that 2-week, maybe 3-week period, but now my skin's very normal, and in the winter my skin is normal to somewhat dry. So where does this fit into my life? I guess that 2-week period in the spring especially, but to some extent in the fall as well, when we transition between seasons. So it seems silly to be working on this in a year-long project pan. I'm not going to use a mask that isn't suitable for my skin in the moment. So I'm going to be rolling this one out, and towards the end I'll show you what I'll be replacing it with. Next up, an eyeliner. This is from Beauty For Real. It is their olive liner, and I've been using this really consistently. I've worn this, I would say 2 to 3 times a week since the last update. Here's what it is currently looking like. It's going to take me months to finish this, but I think it can happen. I wasn't so sure about that in the last update, but I'm really enjoying this. I've been quite liking just putting a swipe of this along probably the outer like 2/3 of my eyelid. I find that really does a nice job of defining my lash line without being too heavy, because my eyes are pretty hooded. If I bring eyeliner in really far, it just covers up any eyeshadow that shows when my eyes are open. It can make my eyes look really small and closed off. But that little, 2/3 of the outer eye being lined is a really cute look for me. So I'm going to keep using this. It's slow progress, but it's progress. And I like using the product. So I guess that's a win. Next we have a lipstick from Kiko. This one is kind of on the chopping block. It is this purple shade, and it is pretty, but this stains, and the stain is not the color that I want it to be. It doesn't stain the color of the lipstick. It stains this really bright pink, but not a super even bright pink. I don't know. I have a lipstick that I just bought like yesterday from Revlon that is a slightly more muted version of this, and it's in a formula that, even though I haven't tried that particular lipstick yet, I know that I like the Super Lustrous formula quite a bit. Definitely more than I like this Kiko formula. So I'm going to give this a good try over the next month, and we will see. But I've worn this probably 3 times in the past month. Not enough to make a big dent in it, but I think with a couple more uses, I could probably essentially like hit the bottom on the slope. So, wow, that was a really poor explanation. Okay, more mathy explanation. Look at the hypotenuse formed by the right triangle of the tip of the lipstick. At some point in the next few uses, I think that the point at the bottom of that hypotenuse will be at the base of the lipstick. And when I hit that, I'm going to allow myself to decide if I want to keep it, because at that point I will be really close to finishing this lipstick, and it might just be worth it to me to have this as an empty rather than declutter, or I can choose to declutter. Okay, that was a better explanation. Probably overkill, but what are you going to do? Product number 9 is this Tinkerbell Super Shock Shadow from ColourPop. This is the shade Fly to Your Heart. It's really pretty. My goal is just to hit pan. I'm not there yet. I haven't been using this as consistently this month as I have in the past couple of months. I'm not sure why, but in the past couple of months, the way that I was using this was I would put something matte in my crease and then just pop this on the lid whenever I was in a hurry, and that hasn't been my MO recently. Not sure why. Need to get back into it because A, I'd really like to hit pan, and B, this is a super, super pretty shade. It's like a nude take on pink with a lot of shine, and it wears really well through the day, which makes it perfect for those days when I'm in a rush and don't even have time to put on eyeshadow primer. And the last product that I'm working on is also from ColourPop. This is the Thumper Lip Gloss from the Bambi line. And I was here in the last video. I was actually here in the last 2 videos because I think that I didn't make quite enough progress to make a new line last month. But this month I've been using this pretty consistently. I've actually had to take out the stopper, which is why this is looking so messy from the outside. I'm kind of at that stage where I just took out the stopper, I think 2 days ago. There was a little bit too much product for me to really need to take the stopper out. It's kind of in the messy and gross stage right now, but I know that in a couple of weeks this will probably be gone. I suspect that this will be an empty in the next video, which is good because I have 2 more of these. Not this exact shade. I have a light brown and like a light purple. They're all pretty sheer. They're all effectively the same color on the lips, but I would like to finish at least 2 of those this year, and this is the first one. So hopefully that'll be gone soon. Now for the products that I will be rolling into the project to replace the e.l.f. mask. I'm actually bringing in another e.l.f. product. This is not usually all frothy. I just dropped it just now and cut that out. But this is the e.l.f. Soothing Facial Oil Mist. This is the one that is infused with neroli oil. I have used about a quarter of this. They say that you can spray this on your face throughout the day whenever you need a boost, is pretty much their language. But I've never tried this over makeup, and I want to try it tonight after I'm done filming these 2 videos. I feel like that's a nice low stakes environment to see if this is going to melt all the makeup off my face or not. But this is not a huge size. I bet this is what, 60 mils? Yep, 60 mils. I've used a quarter of it. I would say that I should be able to go through this in 2 or 3 months, especially if I find that I can use this over makeup. I think this will go pretty quickly. So that was to replace the pink powder mask. To replace my purple blush, I decided to bring in another blush. This is sort of a blush lighter. I don't think we really had that word when these products came out, but that's how I would describe this. This is from Wet n Wild. It's one of their Color Icon blushes from their Hummingbird collection. This is the shade Don't Flutter Yourself. It has a really pretty little hummingbird pan embossing. It used to go all the way down, but I've used this quite a bit over the probably 2 or 3 years that I've owned it. I really like it. My goal is just to hit pan, and I don't think that should be terribly difficult because I have used so much in this area. I'm not quite willing to use the top half because I really love that bird. I love hummingbirds. They're my favorite. Anyway, here's what the product looks like. It is a very glowy pink. I'm wearing it today. It is the only glowy product that I have on my cheeks. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. There is a swatch. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Trying to get all of the extra highlighter off my finger. Yeah, I want to hit pan on it. And to replace the fragrance, I have this tiny little guy. I have no concept for how long this is going to take. This is Summer Days from Murari. It is just a sample, but it's a perfume oil, and based on my experience with perfume oils in the past, this might take me like months to finish. And I noticed that the scent on this one was changing just a little bit. This used to be a very like true grass scent, like freshly mowed grass, and now it's a little bit spicier. So I wanted to use it up before it went bad, and it's still an enjoyable scent. It still definitely has that grassy note, but I can tell that it's changing, and I don't want that to happen because I want to be able to enjoy this. So it is a tiny, tiny sample, but I've used this many times, and it's 3/4 of the way full. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so that is my Project Pan update. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that if you are doing a year-long Project Pan, it's going really well. Let me know what your progress has been. I'd love to hear about your successes, or we can commiserate about how some of these products just take forever, even if we're using them consistently. Bare minerals. So, thanks again for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I hope that I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.